So normally when I kick off my videos, I have everything prepped out. I already have the cigar out of the cellophane. I've already taken photos of the cigar. I'm basically at a stage where I'm ready to start smoking. However, today we're going to do things just a tad bit different. Today I'm going to smoke a Cigars Daily exclusive cigar. It's a beautiful Honduran barber pole called the Liga Zebra. So the first thing that you really notice about this cigar is that it does not have a band. However, the packaging of it has a really cool sticker of a zebra. And for me, that's the whole reason why I haven't taken out cellophane yet. I wanted to show off this sticker. So I think as far as the overall look, the appearance of the cigar, this is a good substitute for a band. It really gives it a unique look. The cigar already is beautiful. I can tell in the cellophane just with the Maduro and the Honduran wrapper. It's just a beautiful stick. So this is definitely one of those cigars that grabs your attention and it begs you to smoke it. So let's cut this guy up, light it up, and see what it's like. Okay, right from the start, the first thing that I noticed about this cigar is it is a pretty tight draw. I mean, this cigar is hard as a steel pipe. I mean, it doesn't budge at all. Probably going to have to grab a cigar tool and try to loosen that up a little bit, but I mean, this thing is not budging at all. So I'm able to get some smoke in my mouth as hard as this is, but at the same time, I'm not getting as much smoke as I'd like. Now, flavor-wise, the cigar is actually pretty good. I mean, it has almost like this nutty spice that I'm picking up right from the start. It's a pretty unique flavor. It's nothing that's intense or anything like that, but it's actually a pretty good taste. So I'll keep working on this, and I may have to see if I can loosen it up a little bit, and I'll come back here with an update. Now, I am able to draw smoke out of this cigar. However, I have to work at it quite a bit just to get a little bit of smoke. You know, I'll give you an example here. So I'm having to suck on that cigar pretty hard just to pull that small amount of smoke, and for me it just kind of takes away from the whole enjoyment of it. So to correct that issue, or to help hopefully improve the issue, what I'm going to use is typically I would use a draw tool. In this case I'm going to use a cigar nubber. So this is one of my Dragon cigar nubbers, and I'm just going to kind of poke a hole here down the center. We don't pop it or anything. Just slowly kind of twist and turn. And see if I can create a little bit of a tunnel. That's much better. A draw tool, you would typically have something that's almost the length of this cigar. Even though I'm only going down probably about maybe 2 inches, it's definitely opened up the cigar. So I'm able to pull a lot more smoke without having to get lightheaded doing so. I'll keep working on this, and I'll come back with an update here towards the end of the first third. The biggest takeaway for this cigar that I have is that the flavors are pretty light. And they're not light in the sense that they're mild. They're just not a lot of flavors there. Now what I do pick up is there's almost like at times there's like a charred wood. There's a little bit of a nuttiness. Every now and then there's a very minor hint of sweetness in this stick as well. There's just not very bold flavors. Now in the retrohale, I do pick up a pretty strong spice, and I would say more of a light tobacco as well. And what the flavors do is as you draw on the cigar, like I said, they're hard to detect. They're not very bold, but that tobacco or that spice just kind of lingers. It just kind of sits on your tongue for a while, and as I'm speaking now, I can still feel it resting against my tongue. So it's not like they're fleeting or anything like that. It's just that they're not very bold. Now, construction-wise on this cigar, as you can see here, the burn was a little bit worse a few minutes ago, and it's starting to self-correct itself. For the majority of the first third, I'd say the burn was pretty solid, and then it started getting pretty wonky, and then now it's just kind of starting to correct itself. So there's really no need to touch it up, and I'd say construction wise it's been a pretty good cigar, minus the pack. It's just a little bit solid pack. However, I haven't had to do anything with the draw. The draw's been pretty consistent since I loosened it up during my last update. So I'd say it's a good cigar. I think the cigar goes somewhere around $6.50 or $6.65, something like that. It's under $7, so it's an inexpensive stick. It's an easy smoke, and I think we're off to a pretty good start through the first third. So I'll keep working on it, and we'll see how it changes through the second third. There really are no flavor transitions in this stage of stick, just the exact same cigar that I described earlier, other than the fact that when you set it aside, the flavors that you do pick up, the ones that are just resting against your tongue, is pretty much a natural tobacco, and that flavor is a real dominant taste. So I do taste the natural tobacco, and then as I draw on the cigar, I do pick up hints of woodsiness, every now and then a little bit of sweetness, and in the retro there's a strong spice, but it's just a cigar that tastes like tobacco. And I'd say it's definitely a good cigar. It's an easy smoke. It's one of those if you're doing yard work or you don't want to think about the flavors in the cigar. It's definitely one that is good to have around. I don't expect any changes in the final third. However, I'll take this cigar as far as I can, and I'll wrap up this review with my final update. And the final third for me was as I predicted. It's pretty much the same cigar that the first 2/3 were. It's just a consistent tobacco flavor with, like I said, in the other 2 sections, hints of woodsiness, spice, and every now and then that mild sweetness. So it's a very consistent cigar. It's very easy to smoke. It's not one that I would say is just extremely light. I mean, the flavors are, they're not bold, but they do stick around, especially those tobacco notes. So it was definitely a decent stick. And it's one of those, like I said earlier, if you're doing yard work or something like that, it's a pretty good cigar for that. So I would recommend it. Definitely give it a try. And I got this cigar in a sampler pack. It came with like the Abrigado, the Filthy Viking, and a couple others that I haven't smoked yet. The names of them escape me at the moment. But yeah, it's definitely a good cigar. It's priced right, and it's one that, you know, if you haven't tried it, give it a try. If you have tried it, let me know what you think about it, and I'll see you guys on the next review.